This tutorial is an introduction to carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are a major source of energy from our diet. They're made of elements carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen only. If we actually break down the term carbohydrate, hydrate means water. Carbo is short for carbon. So we have carbon and water. So there's our carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen there. It also being called saccharides, which means sugars. Carbohydrates such as glucose are produced through photosynthesis. So we have carbon dioxide and water that's absorbed through the air, along with the energy from the sun, and then the plants then turn this into glucose. There are three types of carbohydrates. Monosaccharides, which means one, which is the simplest kind. Disaccharides, which are two of these combined into one compound. And polysaccharides, which is several of the monosaccharides bonded together. Monosaccharides consist of 3 to 8 carbon atom chains with a carbon in a carbonyl group. So we have one here and we have one here. Now let's compare these again, knowing what we learned in the previous chapter. This is an aldehyde because it's at the very, very end. This is at a ketone because it's in the middle. There is a difference between these with sugars, so you do want to pay attention to that. Also, look at how they have this written out. In both scenarios, the double bonded oxygen, the carbonyl group, is towards the top. They always draw these with that double bonded oxygen at the top and then work their way down from there. These can be aldehydes, which those are called aldoses, and ketones, which are called ketoses. All the other carbons have this OH group on it, or hydroxyl group. Monosaccharides are also classified by the number of carbon atoms inside of it. So for instance, if there's 3 carbons, it's called triose. If there's 4 carbons, tetrose. 5 is pentose. And 6 is hexose. So they take this part, the aldose and ketose, and they use that as the prefix to indicate if it's an aldehyde or a ketone. And then they tell you how many carbon atoms there are by telling you hexose, pentose, what have you. So for instance here, this is an aldehyde because it's at the top. There's 1, 2, 3, so it's aldo, tri for 3, ose for sugar, so aldotriose. Another aldehyde, 1, 2, 3, 4, aldo for aldehyde, tetra for 4, ose for sugar. Aldehyde with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so aldo, pentose. This is a ketone now because it's not on the top, it's in the middle. So it's keto rather than alto. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's hex. So ketohexose. Alright, so let's look at this one. A, the carbonyl group, is at the very top, so that means it's going to be aldo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 carbons, so that's hex, ending with ose for sugar. This is a ketone because it's in the middle, so it's going to be keto. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is pent, and ends with ose because it's a carbohydrate. And that's your introduction to carbohydrates.